Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I was sitting here going through my inks, different inks here. Now, some inks are water-based. Other inks do better with alcohol. Pigment-based ink is not something that we would want to use with what I'm working on today, or what I'm playing with, what I should say. And so I'm not sure trying to see which is basically a water-based ink. Pigment ink, I know, is not what I want to deal with, because it didn't turn out right. So get those out of my way. Do I have any more pigment inks in here? Yep, there's another one. I know I don't want to deal with those, so set those aside. I know these little ones work good with water. I don't know about these yet, but we're going to try them. And what we're doing is, I don't know if that even shows up, but it's got a green tint to it. Why? Because I painted with ink, water-based ink. And I've tried in the past using regular paints like watercolors and stuff, but it leaves like a chalky feel to what we're working on. You know, what you're putting it on, and I don't like that. So when I saw how this turned out, and I'm not even sure you can tell where it was painted. I can see some of the edgings here on camera. So I figured, well, you know, I'm just learning about this, so we're going to finish learning about it together. Now what I have, I just yanked out a bunch of papers here, and what I want, let's go with basic white. And by basic white, I mean white printed paper. Oh, these are these are a little thicker, but it's still a wider color. So let's try the pink. And all I'm doing is I'm taking it, and I have a little painter's dish here, a little paint palette. And yes, these are juicy inks. I just daubed it there, and I've got water, and I'm just going to spritz. See how it moves with the water? That's what we want. That's what we want. And I'm just going to come in here and put it all around, just on the page. I mean, you could probably do flowers and everything else with these, but I mean, you can see the color change. It's not a lot. It's very light. It's a very muted color, but I like that. I'll do a little bit more of this color. I'm trying not to get my hands in the ink, because it will stay. Now all I'm going to do is just dip my brush in the water and bring it over. Oh yeah, that gives me a bit of a more intense color with just that little bit that's on the brush. So you can, and all I'm doing is just picking it up, and I'm just going to sort of pat this in here and there. I'm just using this as background, and you can totally do this in your journal. And then have your page right there. You would have to leave it open, let it dry. So, I don't know how loud this is going to be, or if this is even going to dry quickly. But I just wanted to see if it gave sort of a decent outline up top. I know that's not dry yet, but see, just by patting it. I like that. Was that more than one page there? It only felt like one. And it didn't really come through that much. You know, we got a few little light for the water spots, but that's not bad. You know, if you're looking for a subtle color, this would be the way to do it. And these are just inexpensive, what I would call El Cheapo ink pads. The little ones. Acid-free, that's all it says, acid-free ink pads. Just like that. This one here, I'm not sure. I know this is not an American ink. Because it came in some stuff that I ordered from England. Okay, you see how it moved, how the ink moved? That shows that it is a water-based ink. So you can take this up. Let me grab another piece of, I need paper. They're all starting to, they're all sticking together. And then all I'm going to do on this one is just come in here and give myself just a few little pats. Almost like a bit of a grunge on the page, which should probably be corners. Have you ever noticed corners to the page always, or the outside corners, always seem to get grungy first, rather than the page themselves? So we know that works. All right, what about StazOn? I have not worked with this. This is a new pad. Okay, I'm gonna need tweezers to get this off, because I can't see where the, there we go. Now, that one really does not want to come off of there at all on this one. So, let's see. We'll just dab it a little bit, because we've got our, going to rinse my brush out here and pick up just a little bit of water. No, StazOn is not a water soluble. So let me see if it will move with alcohol. It does move with alcohol, but that's not a whole lot of color. Of course, I didn't have a whole lot on there. I wonder, oops, I'm going to try something here, because I don't know what I will use this ink pad for. Oh yeah, that did. That worked. All I did was spritz it good with alcohol. And that did pick up color. I may need more alcohol. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's an alcohol base. So it stays on, you'll probably have to use the alcohol. Now before the alcohol dries is when you want to clean your brush with that. Yeah. Okay, so we know StazOn works with alcohol instead of water. So we know that much. What about archival inks? Oops, I didn't put the piece back on there. That goes back on there. This goes back in there. Although I don't know why I never used those. But it was there, so we put it back. Now, archival ink. Permanent waterproof. All right, so that would have to be with alcohol. It says it right there on top. Okay, so what about, see, that's a pigment ink. This is, all these other big ones like this are all pigment ink. So they're not gonna do for us in pad pigment. So most we can do is with our, we're using water base, is with our regular little colorful inks that we have down here. That's probably cross-contaminating because there's pink in there, but I'm going to add some blue. I'm going to add some blue. Pick up some water. And, oh, this is going to be dark. This is going to be dark. Look at that. Look, 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 look. Yes. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. So the darker colors actually come out lighter. But that does look like it was coffee stained. But yeah, I kind of like that. Let's set that one up there. Let's go into, see, I got some of the darker colored papers down here. These are older book pages. Tear these off. See what we can do. Let's come in with, I wonder if that would pick up any of that. I see these are the more old, well, browner pages. But I can see where it's already starting to dry, that you can see some of the blue on there. It's just not as predominant as it is on the white ones. Oh, let's use this another color. What is this one? It just says, it says washable. So I reckon what we're looking for is washable ink. So kids ink pads. Put some purple down there. Get some purple down there. Good spritz of water. And we're just gonna put it down. So you can, I mean, this is just to show you that can be done. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could, you know, you could do flowers, whatever you wanted to on them. But yeah, the purple shows up on that one, and then we see the blue up here. That's not bad. I kind of like that. So we know it's washable inks. That was the word I was looking for to begin with. I could not. You know how you think of something and it just, your mind goes blank when you know good and well what it's called. Okay, now clear that up. Another thing we have that we could probably use And I don't know if this would work. So before I do that, let me move this out of the way. Oops. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up with ink all over the place. You go down there, you go down there. I'm trying to make sure it's all even in the drawer here because I got to put it back over yonder. So, but for now it can sit there. Another type of ink I have that, if I can get the box down, it's on this little shelf next to me. Not this box. This box is blocks and cords for my cell phone and my iPad. But in here, I have ink refills, re-inkers, all of these, and they're color. So, but what I don't know is, right, just pulling one up, this is Mermaid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz some water right in here. And if I can get it open, whoops, I was only going for a drop. That did more than a drop. That definitely did more than a drop. All right, give me a little spritz of water. All right, that's not cleaning up with water. But it looks like it mixed in with water. We shall try it. Give me another paper here. Is this one or two? All right, we have two here. Well, you may need the alcohol to clean up with it, but as you can see, put it in with a little bit of water. You can paint with it. So it did do that one. I'm just going to try and smooth it out here. Let it fade across the page. So that one did good. That one did okay. And those were, it's just Ranger's alcohol ink. Alcohol. I should have known. Duh. You know, am I the only one that has one of those like duh moments? It says alcohol ink. Oh, let's see, I forgot to put the pigment inks in there. It's a good thing I didn't go ahead and put that drawer back. What else do we have? Now I have, this is Distressed Oxide. So, I've got this. Now, you can refresh your ink pad with water. Let's see what happens. I just want a drop. That definitely needs to clean out. I did not clean out that top last time I used it. Shame on me. Well, I'm going to have to do this now because I've done made a mess. And I didn't want to get ink on my hands, and look there. That didn't last long. Okay. Now it does mix okay. Let's see how we paint. Dip my brush in. Okay, this does not, it's almost like it doesn't want to soak into where the water is. It's just not giving a paint like surface. like it's painted. It's almost like the color is moving in the water. I'm not sure how I like that. But I'm going to do a few little test areas here and let them dry and see how they end up. All right. Now, I'll find a place to put this so it can dry. All right. We shall continue on. Wash my brush out. Okay. And then we'll wipe that side out. So it seems like on most of these, we're going to have to use more of a alcohol base. So, what am I doing on this one? I'm going to spray some water. I'm going to spray a touch of alcohol in it. Right inside the water. And we'll see how this does. This is, let's get one darker because milk lavender is harder to see. That one's lettuce, espresso. I'm going to find something that's got a little bit of color in it. Alright, forest green. We'll try that. Look how dark it is. One drop. That's all I'm doing, one drop. And look how it just sits there in the bottom. Add a bit more alcohol. Oh yeah, look at that. Now it sort of blooms in there. That's kind of neat. You know, you never realize what goes on, you know, what you can do or work with. Oh, look how dark that one is. Until you experiment. That is so dark. That is so dark. I don't know if it's coming across on your side dark, but that's dark. I think I like that. I think I like that color. Let me set that up there. And I got some more of the some of the heavier stuff down here. What if just touch it and just different little areas. We shall see how that looks when it dries. See, now we've got the two different types of paper to compare with. Ooh, this one has this was the cover to the manual, or back cover of the manual, to one of my old sewing machines. And this does have a somewhat shiny surface. Just trying it on different things. See how well they come out. Was that folded? There was a crease there at one point. Okay. So now I'm running out of places to put things. So right quick, I'm going to clean this part up. I'll get that finish up later. Put my paintbrush over there. The water can go over there. Now, for this here, this is just an alcohol pad. And it cleans up alcohol ink. And it also cleans up permanent magic marker. Just for those that didn't know, alcohol will clean off permanent magic marker. Okay, let's see where we're at. We did that. That one didn't turn out too bad. You know, I kind of like the light color on that one. And then we did a pink. That was the purple and the blue. This was all those different colors. And let's see, was there more over here? No, I've got all of those there. I got those up there. I've got this one here. This isn't quite dry. Let's see if putting it with a heat gun just for a moment or two will help. You know what I may need to do? Let me have me a... All I'm doing is to get the excess water off. See how it comes off? Now this should dry fairly quickly. Not much color to that, but you can tell there is a color. That's not too bad. I'll put this one back down here because I know these are going to have... No, that one doesn't have any excess on it. Let's see how it dries up. And it still has its shiny texture. Which, if this had been regular paints, watercolor paints, it would not stay shiny. It would have a chalky texture to it. But that, I mean, that's kind of neat. What about these? I think this one here is dry. Make sure. There's a few areas. These things dry really, really quick. Just a touch with here. Make sure we get it. But I do like these greens. So, and it was just an experiment today to see what if. Because I was sitting here and I was going through the what ifs. And you can. I know that's why I rubbed them together, but I mean, even, yeah, I can use that. I can use these. Oh, look at the back side. The back side is lighter, so it did go through, which is good. There's the front and the back. Ooh. That didn't go through on that side, but it still kept the shiny feel to it, or the satiny feel to it, the shiny part to the paper. Not much in the way of color, but you can see some. So that did turn out fairly good. So remember, water-based inks or washable inks, whichever, you can use as paint, which we did today. I mean, look, we did quite a little bit today. So yes, we can use those. The Ranger inks went better if we mixed it alcohol and water. You could probably do all alcohol with them, but they would probably dry really fast too. But we still have, I've got tons of them. See, I got a whole bunch here. So, but I'll worry about the alcohol, playing with the alcohol ones later. I just wanted to see how that was going to work. Hey, you sit here with ideas and play with your ideas. You never know what you're going to end up with. Get those, put it back up. Oh, there's the first page I was thinking about. Well, what if, yeah, this one only came through a little bit. So, yeah, these I'll put back in with the other inks. So, if you enjoyed our little playtime today, give me a thumbs up. If you are a subscriber to my channel, thank you so much. If you are not a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you have any ideas like painting with inks that you would like to see, leave them in the comment section. I do read my comments, and I'm willing to try any technique, learn a new technique. I am not too proud to learn or try a new way of doing things. It's all fun. So until next time, bye guys.